Well, wherever you are in the world, you might be, it might be morning, might be afternoon, might be evening, where you are. This is Brooks's Base Corner, and another two in 2 days, an impromptu live chat. So this is pre-show, and we're at the Hilton Hotel, St George's Park, in Burton on Trent. So this is gig number 3 with the Queen tribute. This is Queen. Did a show on Thursday, did a show last night, and now we've got the third of 3 shows. So tonight's a corporate event for McLaren Racing Cars Members Club, I think, an event. So we're on stage tonight at 10:15. So we've got hours to kill. Normally I've got things I can sort of plan and do, but we're kind of out of the town centres and stuff, and we're sort of out in the wilds, really. But it's very nice. This is the hub of the England football team, and this is the training facilities and the hotel and all of that, really. It's very nice, very plush. Thankfully, we finished last night's show, drove across country, and then came here, stayed overnight, and then we do the show tonight. So at the moment, we can't actually get access to the room to settle our gear up for another couple of hours. So I thought, well, best way to spend a bit of time with you guys here on YouTube. And Brooks's Base Corner live chat. I can't even say it's a number because it's an impromptu one. So it's a bit different to the ones we do on Tuesdays at 7 o'clock. So this kind of follows on from yesterday's live chat, which was very impromptu at soundcheck, setting up at the Drill in Lincoln. And if you're watching this, I very highly doubt anyone that was at the show last night is watching this. But if you did, I hope you really enjoyed the show. You certainly all seemed to make a lot of noise, which was great for us, and a very friendly crowd. And we had a great show. I think you guys did. Stacey from North Carolina. Hey, how you doing? And it was great. We had an absolute ball last night. So it's a little different today. As you can see, I don't have any bases or gear because we're sat here in the Starbucks above reception. But I've got a bottle of fizzy pop, and I've got you guys out there. So I hope you're all having a great Saturday wherever you are in the world. And if you've not done a live chat before, normally these are held in my office at home. Yesterday was on stage at Soundcheck, and today is sat on a very nice sofa. So I thought I'd tap in to see what you guys are doing for your Saturday, and hope everything is all good. So if you've not attended a Brooks's Base Corner live chat before, we're here. And very often it's a Tuesday evening at 7 o'clock, but today it's a Saturday at 2:30 here in the UK. So if you've got any questions about bass gear, bass amplifiers, speakers, bass effects, bass accessories, you want to talk about any bass gods, bass legends, you want to talk about anything here on the channel, so bass reviews, bass interviews, any of the Essential Bass Albums series, any of the YouTube shorts that I've been putting up rapidly over the past couple of weeks. If you've seen the new series on YouTube Shorts, 3 Great Things, which is a precursor to a bigger series that I'll be doing here on the YouTube channel in long form. So for anyone that doesn't know, YouTube supports long form content, which is anything over 60 seconds, and then there's short form content, which is anything up to 60 seconds. So yeah, so there will be those series as well in long form. I missed your messages there, Stacey, so just click on the message button. So look, what did you say? Starbucks, hot damn about, headed to mine around the corner. I think you live in your Starbucks. I'm sure they've got a seat just for you. How were the acoustics last night? Do you know what? We had great sound on stage last night. The monitors were fab. The hall was fab. Everything sounded really big, but really sort of nicely defined in the mix. So we had absolute blast. And first set, we came out the traps blasting really. I think we kind of took the audience a little by surprise. Obviously, people go and see different Queen tributes in different venues, and sometimes they kind of, in a seated venue, they kind of just sit there and they're happy. They'll just sit and watch and not really get involved. And I think they got a bit of a sonic blitzkrieg last night, because by third song in, we were absolutely storming. And the fact the audience were giving very hearty applause from, well, the end of the first song, really. And sometimes when you do One Vision with the original live ending, sometimes it just doesn't tick people's boxes. But anyway, did last night, and they absolutely went for it, which was great. Yep, wall of sound, exactly. So that was all good. Second set was basically party time. So people were up pretty much from first song in the second set, and we had an absolute blast. So again, if anyone was there at the drill in Lincolnshire last night, I hope you had a really great time. We did. However, the evening was tinged with a little bit of negativity. So on the drive from there to here, I had a car swerving across the road on a B road between Lincoln and here in Burton on Trent, and this car was swerving across its lane. So either they were on their phone or they were drunk or any sort of other things. And as they came past me, they veered in towards me, took my wind mirror right off. Thankfully, they haven't damaged the car, but they've damaged, well, the wing mirrors are right off, it's gone. And all the electrical cables are hanging out. So thank you, whoever did that. I hope karma gives you a serious kick in the nuts later on. And I hope it left your wing mirror in as much of a state as it left mine. And who knows, maybe a scammer into identity theft might work you out and empty your bank balance, because it's really hacked me off. And basically I've got to do one of these shows this weekend for no money, because it's going to pay for a whole new wing mirror and the work and the VAT to cover it. So thank you for that. Cheers. The guy didn't stop. I didn't think he would, and I would assume, judging by the state of my wing mirror, his is probably in an equal state. But you know, he could have been on his phone texting, calling someone. Either way, he didn't have control of that car, and how he didn't hit my car, I don't know. But there we go. Shame. Kind of put a damper on the whole day. But on we go. I'm still here. The car's still here. There's no bodywork to pay for, just a new wing mirror. But there we are. Can't have it all. And as I've sort of got over the anger of it, I've been driving for 31 years. I've had a car since January 98. It's only the second time I've had wing mirror damage. Over 4,000 gigs, so I'll live with it. Not to worry. So, I missed some messages there, sorry. How absolutely scary, and yes, they'll get there. It's rotten stuff, yep. Shook me up a little bit, I have to say, but there we go. So, anyone tuning in, this is a very impromptu Brooks's Bakes Corner live chat Saturday afternoon. Hope you're all safe and well. So this being a live chat kind of relies on your interaction. So there's a live chat window for you to put messages and comments in. If you're on the mobile app, it will be below this window. If you're on the desktop app, it will be that side. So in there, you can put any comments, any messages, anything to do with this video, anything to do with any of the other videos on the channel. You want to talk about anything to do with bass guitars, bass effects, bass amplifiers, bass speakers, bass accessories. You want to talk about any bass gods, bass legends. You want to talk about any of the gigs I've been doing. So I've been doing three Queen gigs this weekend. So if you've got anything you'd like to ask, we had a right riveting chat yesterday. It was getting quite juicy when I had to pull the plug, unfortunately, because it was time to do sound check. But yeah, so if you want to ask anything about the gigs that are going on or anything I've got coming up, literally I've got basically between 2, 3 and 4 gigs every week now up until Christmas with a whole load of different bands. So if you want to ask anything of that, or if you want to know where any of the gigs are, you want to come and see some of them, put it in the live chat box and I'll reply as soon as I see it. Anyone who's not been on live chat before, you can make a financial contribution to the running of the channel, to buying equipment to do the videos, buying equipment for the reviews, for the videos you see with all the base content. If you want to contribute towards the studio costs for doing filming and what have you, you make a contribution to the channel by going to the live chat window. You'll see an emoji icon, which allows you to put emojis into the conversation. You'll see a dollar sign. That's called Super Chat. You click on that, you make a financial contribution to the channel. That then comes to me, and it allows me to fund the channel, buy the equipment, all of that stuff, as I just explained. There's also a facility under every video here on the channel, because we're monetized, where you see the icons. You see the thumbs up, thumbs down, save, share, watch later. You'll see a love heart with a dollar symbol in it. That's called Super Thanks. So if you enjoy a video, or you enjoy the content that a certain creator puts out, you can contribute towards the channel by doing it that way. You might just do it because you enjoy the videos, you enjoy the channel. You might also do it because if the video, for example, say your boiler broke down, you might come onto YouTube to find out what the error codes were saying, or you might have a guitar that needs to be fixed in a certain way, or like, for example, a Kabiki factor bass needs to be strung in a certain way. You might not have a clue how to do it. You might come onto YouTube, find a video that explains how to do it. You'll learn something. You might want to reward the contributor, the content maker. That's what Super Thanks is for. So if you wish to do that, feel free. You're more than welcome. I'm just going to have a quick drink before my throat dries up. So there we have it. It's Saturday afternoon. So for 2.5 years of running the channel, we never did impromptu live chats. Now we've done 2 in 2 days. So I hope everything is well with you guys out there. I hope some of you are out gigging this evening. Probably some of you quite near this area, I'd imagine. So I'm very near Birmingham in the Midlands here in the UK. And I'm sure some of you are going to be out doing functions and weddings and pubs and club dates and a few theatres. So if I know you, or you know me, I hope you have a great gig. Enjoy yourselves and make the most of it. You want to tell me about your gigs, what you're going to be doing, what band you're playing with, what you're playing tonight, where are you playing? For all I know, I might have played there myself at some point. So let me know. Stick a comment in the live chat window and we'll talk about it. If you want to ask anything about the last couple of gigs. So Queen tributes, done 2, got 1 tonight. If you want to talk, if you were on the live chat yesterday, we had a lot of people tune in yesterday, which is great to see. If you want to ask anything about what was in the video, you want to talk about the amps, the cabs, the basses, effects board, pedal board. We had a friend of mine, Chris Pigeon, who I haven't spoken to for quite a while, and came on and asked about IEMs and what I was using. And I had the bag right behind the amplifier. John, you're sat over there. You can just come put the money on the table, mate. That was our drummer from the Queen tribute. He's just donated 99 pence, of which I get 55%. Ever diminishing. So I get about 50p. Thanks. I'll get a lump of sugar. All right. So he just did what any of you can do if you so wish. You can donate to the upkeep of the channel via Super Chat, which is exactly what he did. So he pressed the dollar symbol that's in the live chat window, donated to the channel. So 50 pence will probably buy me, I don't know, a couple of sheets of paper for the printer. Thank you. Well, actually, judging on paper costs at the moment, I'd probably get the external wrapper, not the paper. But so yesterday's chat was very lively. I didn't know what to expect, to be honest. It was middle of the afternoon, so I knew a lot of you out there in YouTube land would be at work, but the joy of this is that you are global. So although it might be afternoon where I was, Stacey, don't egg him on, please. Some people could have been in Japan, Germany, Australia, Russia, Middle East, America. So you're all at different times. So, and the other thing, obviously, clearly, is not only is this a live chat now live, you can actually watch this any time after the event, because it all gets uploaded onto the channel. You could be watching this several years after it's actually happened. So and if you're doing that, if you're watching or listening to this after the event, you can still interact, even though the live chat window will be closed. You can send comments regarding this video, whatever we end up talking about today, or anything else that's on the channel. Just put it in the comment section and I'll come back to you. I get an alert and a notification when you guys send messages, and I can respond to those. So it's all good. So tonight, gear-wise, will be exactly the same as the past couple of nights. So we're using a couple of Fender Precisions, as I do my John Deacon thing. And the black one, gold hardware, is a 2017-2018 standard Mexican Precision. Nothing particularly glamorous or outrageous. Replace the pickup with an Aguilar 4P60, which is hotter, livelier, a little more punchy, a bit more defined than the stock pickup, which is great. And replace the bridge with a Wilkinson brass bridge, hip shot tuners, so it's all gold hardware, so it looks like John Deacon's bass from the 86 to 97 period, which was his original 68, 69 alder bodied bass, which actually went through various configurations. Originally it was sunburst, he then stripped it, turned it to natural, and then after Live Aid and around 85, early 86, he took that bass to Roger Giffin in London, and Roger basically gave it an overhaul, sprayed it black, put a black pick guard on, and put the gold hardware on, set it all up, made it look lovely again, and then it appeared in the 86 Magic Tour. So that's one bass. The other bass is a 2017 Fender FSR, which stands for Fender Special Release. It's a 70s Precision, ash body, maple neck and fingerboard, black binding. Haven't changed the pickup, but that pickup is killer. It's got punch, it's got grit, it's got upper mids, and it's really powerful. It's great sounding bass, totally different to the black one. So those are the two basses I'm using on this Aguilar setup. I haven't been in the room yet. I've been told by other band members we don't have a particularly large stage tonight. So it might be, rather than using the 2 cabinet and Aguilar DB751, which if you've seen any of the pictures on social media or here on the community tab on the channel, or you might have seen yesterday's live chat, I might be downsizing a bit tonight, and we just go for 1 cabinet, and we'll go for the Aguilar AG700 amp rather than the big DB751. So we'll see. When I get in there, I'll make a decision what I'm going to go with. And pedal board will be out. I think I'm going IEMs as well tonight, because we're using our own setup, our own PA setup. So IEMs, so I can hear everything. And away we go, and we'll have another go. And we're doing a full straight through 90-minute set tonight, no breaks, no mucking about. We get on, play the first song, straight to the end, and hopefully it's going to be a great night. But we're not on for another 7.5 hours. So it's a lot of hanging about today, but it's all cool. I get to talk to you fabulous people out there in YouTube land. So if you're just logging in, I can see people are attending. Got any questions about bass guitars, bass amplifiers, bass speakers, bass effects, bass accessories? You might want to talk about bass playing, bass techniques. Anything here on the channel, any of the reviews, interviews, the Essential Bass album series. You might want to talk about some of the demos, some of the YouTube shorts. You might want to talk about some of the stuff I've written for Bass Guitar Magazine or Bass Player over the past 18 years. If you want to talk about particular players, particular bands, you might have a recommendation of a great album with a great bass player on that I should listen to, and you think everyone here on the live chat should maybe check out. Put it in the live chat window and we'll talk about it. And I'll tell you what, viewing numbers are growing. Fabulous. Welcome to Brooks's Bass Corner Saturday afternoon live chat. This might be a first. I don't think I've ever done a live chat on a Saturday. So you are more than welcome. Get involved. It's a two-way process. Otherwise, you're just going to be listening to me talking for the best part of an hour or more. So if you've got any bass-related chat, let's hear it. I think that's all the mess. I think I'm up to date there. Thank you, Stacey Ann. So, yeah, I think we're up to date there. So yeah, so let's know where you bass players are playing this weekend. Who's out? Where are you? What are you doing? What band you playing with? Who knows? I might have played with the same band you're playing with. You never know. You never know. So next weekend, it's back on the Uncle Funk Trail with Disco Show Band. So we are over in Witham in Essex next Friday. It's a public gig, so it's tickets. So if you'd like to come, you can by all means buy a ticket. Or if you know me personally, I'm sure there will be guest list places. So hit me up during the week, and if there's a place I can allocate for you, then let me know. It should be a good show. I don't think we've played that place while we've had the new lineup of the band. I've certainly not played there before. So we'll see. Hopefully it'll all go off. It'll be great. And then Saturday I am with definitely might be, yeah. Which is an Oasis tribute, and we are playing at the O2 in Oxford. Yeah, O2 in Oxford next Saturday. So that should be a cracking show. I played there about 5 years ago with that band when I had to stand in for 2 months because their bass player died very suddenly. And I did a 2-month run of shows with them. Play lots of O2 academies all around the UK and various other events. So it'd be nice to see the guys. Hope you're all well out there, Ian and Paul and James, I think is on drums now. So I'll be doing that. And then the week after I'm with them again. And we're doing Oasis and also Stone Roses at is it the River Rooms? In Stourbridge. I think it's the River Rooms. But anyway, it's Stourbridge. So southwest Birmingham, southwest Birmingham. So that's on the Friday. And then on the Saturday, I'm with this Queen tribute again. This is Queen up in Doncaster. So putting the miles in. And I think the week after that is, I think we have an Uncle Funk theatre show down in Eastbourne on the south coast. So that'll be lively. And then we're kind of into December. So then it's ABBA, Uncle Funk, some weddings. I think there's a couple of functions, some pub gigs as well, which I haven't done too many of lately. And pretty much keeps me busy all the way up to New Year's Eve. So it's going to be busy. And then in January we can collapse, which is what generally happens in January. Just use that to recharge a bit. And then it's basically all guns blazing for festival season from April onwards. So it's going to be busy. But here on the channel, all this downtime and the downtime after Christmas, there will be plenty of content. There's actually plenty of content now ready to get uploaded over the next couple of weeks. So if you're new to the channel, definitely keep checking back, because there's going to be quite a bit of long form content in the shape of reviews, interviews, a couple of new interviews and a couple of vault. I call it the vault. So basically all the interviews I did for Basic Guitar Magazine and Bass Player, I have the audio files of, and I own the copyright on. So there'll be some vintage interview material going up, and some new interviews, which I'm hoping the bass celebrities will confirm and go through with. The problem is these people are so in demand and so busy that you try and nail them down on dates and times. It's really difficult because they don't know which country they're going to be in, where they're going to be, what's happening the day after. So we'll see if those happen. And then there's loads of YouTube Shorts stuff going up, which I know for a lot of you, you're not really interested in that kind of thing. But YouTube certainly is. And there's going to be a big push on YouTube Shorts in January, which is why every day at the moment I'm putting up either a new YouTube Short, which is completely brand spanking new, or I'm extracting sections from pre-existing video content here on the channel. So if you've seen any of those, or you've gone to the shorts playlist and you think, crikey, there's a lot of new videos on there I haven't seen. Some of them you might have seen in longer form content, but basically there's 60 seconds or less, little snapshot extracts from that existing long form content. So hopefully some of you might sort of veer onto some of those and think, oh, I really like these videos. And you can actually then click through from the extract video through to the original video that's taken from. There's a section towards the bottom of the screen where you can either click on, I think it's either the file name of the extract, or I think it says switch to Brooks's Bass Corner, and as you click on it, it'll take you through to the original video that extract's taken from, which is quite clever. Wish they'd done that sooner. I'd have been able to create a lot more quicker, I think. But anyway, it's there now and I'm making use of it, so there we have it. So if you're wondering why there's no amps and there's no cabinets and guitars and stuff behind me, it's because I'm here at the Hilton Hotel in St George's Park in Burton, which is the home of the England football team here in the UK. And we're just hanging about, really. There's not a lot we can do. We can't get into the room we're playing in. And the client that we're playing for, which is to do with McLaren racing cars. I think it's the McLaren Owners Club or something like that. We're doing an event for them tonight, so that's why we're here. So I can see there are people out there watching this. I hope you're safe and well and enjoying your Saturday. This is Brooks's Bass Corner on a very impromptu live chat. So if you've got anything you'd like to ask about basses, bass amps, bass speakers, pedal boards, effects, bass accessories, you want to talk about any legendary bass players, any bands, any albums, you want to talk about anything here on the channel, any of the videos, you got any suggestions for equipment you'd like to see reviewed or covered? If you'd like to suggest bass players you might like to see interviewed, and I will try and use my contacts to get that arranged. But there we go. But it's a two-way thing. So if you go to the live chat window, so if you're on the mobile app, it will be below here, and if you're on the desktop, it will be that way. Put in your questions or your comments, and as soon as I see them, I'll respond to them. But it's all good. Impromptu live chats is the way forward. This isn't always possible on most gigs because generally you don't arrive until a certain time. And then it's rush. Get set up really, really quick, get changed, eat your dinner, go on. And very often there's no Wi-Fi signal. But today we're in a hotel, there's Wi-Fi, there's no rush whatsoever. And we can't really do anything. We don't have rooms because we had to leave them at midday. So I'm sat here in a Starbucks above reception, and it's very nice, very pleasant. I could think of worse ways to spend a Saturday afternoon, but it's all good. So what have we got coming up? So live chat 26 is going to be on Tuesday at 7 p.m. UK time. If you've never seen any of our live chats, how we've got to 26, I've no idea, but we have. And pretty much at the moment, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. UK time. It's a run of 10 live chats. So we started this current run at number 21. So it had been 5 weeks ago. It'll be number 6 of this run of 10 on Tuesday, and we go through till December the 6th. Then we take a little bit of a break over Christmas, although with all the gigs, we might have impromptu live chats. That might become a regular thing. And we do this. We talk bass, and as people join in the conversation, and we talk about all sorts of things. If you've got a problem with a bass, or you've got a problem with some of your gear or your pedals, or you're not sure how to restring a certain bass, or how does that sort of string sound compared to, someone asked me the other day, how does steel strings sound different to nickels? How do round wounds sound different to half wounds? How do flat wound sound, and fire all those questions and comments in the live chat, and we open it up and we can all talk about it. So if you're thinking about a new pedal and you haven't had a chance to check it out, I might have done. I might have reviewed it. I might even use it. Who knows? So if that can help educate your purchasing decisions, I'm more than happy to advise as far as I can. And I'm quite fortunate. I've got 35 years of playing experience and 27 as a professional musician, and I've done over 4,000 gigs. So I'd hope somewhere along that journey I've picked up some nuggets of information that help me, but I can pass them on to you. And there's no cost. You don't need to pay me for that, but if I can help, then great, you know. And I had a really nice situation last night. We had parents and their son, I think it was about 10 or 11, sat in the front row. Could tell the kid was really into the Queen show. Was absolutely transfixed with everything we did. And on the last song where I use a pick, I gave him the pick at the end of the song. It's something I've done occasionally over the years, because as a kid, I can't remember if anyone gave me a pick. Actually, no, someone did when I was 16, and he had been a deck guitarist, so he might have been a guitar tech for The Cure or something. I'm not a Cure fan. But anyway, it was a lovely gesture, and I've picked up sort of various plectrums over the years. A lot of them got lost en route. But it was very clear this kid was well into Queen, and he loved live music and what have you. It turns out he's a drummer. So pick's absolutely useless to him. But he seemed absolutely made up that I went down to the front and I said, "It's for you, so you take that." And they came up and said hello at the end in the foyer, and the mum came over and said, "Oh, that's made his night." Then our drummer led him to the stage, gave him a set of drumsticks, which was great. And I said, "Well, you've got to pass the baton on, you know. If that, me giving him a pick or the drummer giving him a set of sticks, that encourages him to either become a musician, just a musician anyway, and enjoying it for that. Or he then decides he wants to go on and be a full-time professional musician. This is where you sow the seeds. These are the little nuggets that could just instigate that flame of interest to start, you know, delving deeper into albums, going and finding who the people were that played on certain records, and sort of getting those musical juices flowing. It's not easy to coax that out of a kid, because they need guidance. I didn't have it. It was I had to do it all myself. The only thing I had from sort of my family and my relatives was music was played on the radio, records, tapes, all the time. Everywhere. My mum was a great one for sticking the radio on, sticking music on, and it was there. That sort of got the old ears going. And then as I became a bass player from 87 onwards, you know, I was already delving deep into records and record collections and seeing who played on certain albums. I was doing all that myself. And then that snowballs. And here we are. From 1987, it's now 2022, and I'm doing it every day of the week. But it's good. It's good. But just lighting those fires in the young, you know, it's the smallest thing. Me giving him a 30 pence plectrum. I could meet that guy in 20 years' time and he might be absolutely knocking it out the park. But if me giving him a plectrum or him getting the drumsticks, that just fuels him to go for it. No bad thing. No bad thing at all. So there we go. There we go. Who knows? He might form a band, and somewhere along the line I might end up playing in that band. It's a murky web, the music business, and you never know what's around the corner. So, yeah, sermon finished. So if you've not encountered a live chat before, whether on this channel or any other channel, I'm Mike Brooks. This is Brooks's Bass Corner. There's no bass gear around me. This is very impromptu. This wasn't planned. So we did a live chat yesterday. I'm out on a run of 3 gigs with a Queen tribute, and we did an impromptu live chat yesterday at Soundcheck, which went great. It was really good. And if you missed it, you can, if you go on the video section of the channel, You should see it there. If you don't, then click on the live section. So basically, when you go on the channel, there's a list of sections. So there's like about, videos, playlists, community, channels. Right. So it'll either be under videos or it'll be under live, or go to the playlists and it gets added into there. And you can watch any of the previous live chats. They're all there. And but yesterday's got really lively. It was great. I was most enthused. And it was a shame I had to cut it off at the point I did, because we were starting to build up quite an audience at the time. And the questions were flying in. It was very good. More of that. It's a two-way thing. So if you guys have questions, comments, anything about anything here on the channel, anything about bass playing generally, if you've got some gear that's not working properly, or you want to talk about the best way to patch together a whole bunch of pedals to make it all sound as good as it possibly can, I might be able to help with some of that. Because for years I didn't use pedals very much. I bought them for things that I thought I might need. And I have a big box full of pedals. And in the past year and a half, since we come out of lockdown, I've started to use all those pedals. Actually, I read something on one of the bass groups that I follow on Facebook. And someone was saying they've got a Precision, a 5-string Yamaha, and a Music Man Stingray. And is that more basses than they need? And they might sell 2 of them. And I said, well, you can only do what's right for you. However, if you're playing for a living, or even if you're playing for a hobby, you never know when a bass you've got in your collection that sits there gathering dust could well become your main bass, because you don't know in the future what the projects are that you might be working on. I have a number of basses in my collection that I wouldn't usually take as a priority. However, I think without any exceptions, literally every bass in my collection has been used for one project or another, and a lot of them were bought because they were required. It wasn't just bought on spec. A couple of the basses have been bought as investments maybe, and some because I just wanted them. But invariably then I factor them into becoming part of the regular bass arsenal. But yeah, I said to that guy, you know, you don't know. You just don't know what's around the corner. And for a lot of time, I don't use 5 strings. I'm not in bands where I need them. Yeah, I've got 4. And then when it comes to a band saying, oh, we need you to use a 5 string, I've got a choice. That doesn't mean you need to have 5. If you had 1, you can cover that bass if you suddenly get asked to have a 5 string. Likewise, you might have a fretless. I've got a fretless. I've never used it on a gig. However, not that my fretless playing is anything to shout about, but if someone said there's a session or there's a band, we need you to play a bit of fretless on that, and I've got time to sort of seriously freshen up my fretless playing. I haven't done any in about 20 years because I don't do it, and there is not the time in my daily schedule to be able to do it to any great degree. As long as I had time to get it all together and learn and get all my fingering and intonation right and all of that, then I can get it all together. But you just don't know. You don't know. And that's half the fun, isn't it? I'm just going to check with my bandmate. Are we disembarking, or are you?
I'm just sort of packing up with a view to going down and scouting it out.
Okay, cool.
Ivan's already there, but he likes to be hours early.
So. Okay. If it's such that we can come down and start doing, just send me a message and I'll pick it up. Yeah, so there we go. So if you've got any question about basses, amps, bass speakers, bass effects, bass pedal boards, pedal chains, bass accessories, we'll talk about great legendary bass players, talk about bands, talk about albums. You want to talk about bass strings, which can be a bit dull. But we do have a series of videos at the moment on the channel called the Bass String Experiment series. And basically I've taken one of my favourite basses, which is a Status Empathy bass, and we've put a set of Rotor Sound Swing Bass 66 round wound steel strings on there, and we're going to see how long those babies last on that bass. At the moment, we're up to gig 16. The videos here on the channel run as far as number 11. Episodes 9, episodes 12, 13, 14, 15 and 16 are in the can, ready to be uploaded. They will start appearing on the channel this week once I get home from here, tomorrow. But I'll look at the video upload schedule, and those will start appearing this week, and that bass goes back out for gig number 17 next Friday. So we'll see how long those strings last, but there is no one's done a similar test. It's not scientific at all. I've set the parameters so the strings don't get cleaned. There's no maintenance. They've been put on that bass, and that bass is used for gigs only. No practice, no in-between gig play. Don't clean the strings. The bass comes out of its gig bag. We do the gig, which can last anything between an hour and 2 hours. At the end of the gig, it goes back in the gig bag, go home. I'm going to see how many gigs it can do. So at the moment, it's up to 16. Next Friday is number 17. The point at which this ends is when either a string out of the 4 either snaps or breaks, or the tuning stability goes, or the tone so seriously dies off that it's just not usable anymore. The reason for using that bass, the Status Empathy, is because it has a very extensive 3-band EQ with a mid-sweep. So as the brightness has been dropping off of the strings of late, I can dial in extra through the EQ. That wouldn't happen if I was using a passive bass, because all I'd have is a tone control. But with a 3-band active EQ, that's possible. So I can dial in things that are being lost. But I think we're probably going to get seriously into the 30s, providing the string doesn't break. Who knows, it could go past 40, even 50. We shall see. I have no idea. There's no other video on YouTube that has done it. And I think I know how many it's going to do, roughly, because I did something similar 6-7 years ago when I moved over from Picato strings over to rotor sound. So we'll see. But if you've not seen any of those videos here on the channel, there's a playlist for it called The Bass String Experiment. There's also, you can just go to the videos and you'll find them. So, like I say, at the moment, you've got the initial intro video, and I'll put links to it in the description box. In fact, anything I've referred to on this live chat that's already existing on the channel, I'll put in the description box below. And then basically there's 11 videos after that of the various gigs. So, you know, feel free to check any of those out if you wish. There's loads of gig footage in there. So it shows you some of the festivals I played over the summer. But yeah, it's an ongoing series, and we'll see how far we get. There's no predicting it. But the strings are in pretty good health at the moment. There's still quite a lot of character in them. Some of the brightness has tailed off, and the actual suppleness of the low E and A strings has started to die off as well. But they're certainly not dead. And again, if you check any of the videos out, certainly around, well, the last video that went up, which is gig 11, you'll hear that there's still plenty of tone in those strings, which is all good. And if the lovely guys from Rotor Sound are watching, Jason, Jack, good afternoon. Hope you're well. And hopefully might see you soon when I come down to do that Uncle Funk theatre show in Eastbourne. I should apologise if you're watching this. If the camera keeps juddering, it's on a tripod here on the table, and every time I put my hand on the table, the camera jiggles, and I'm not even doing it hard on purpose. So apologies for that. So I hope you're enjoying your Saturday. Hope everyone's safe and well out there. Hope you're all having a relaxing day. It's Saturday, so there's no guarantee of that. And I hope some of you are bass players. I hope you're all going to be out there gigging tonight. And I'm just watching our drummer disembark for downstairs. He's going to send me a message if we're ready to rock and roll. In which case we might restart this live chat when we're down there setting up. We will see. Who knows? But otherwise, I hope everyone is good. So 2 gigs we've already had this week have been great. So we did a private function, an award ceremony on Thursday, losing track of the days. And then we did a private ticketed gig at the same venue in Lincoln last night at the Drill. And now tonight we're doing a private event for McLaren Owners Club here at the Hilton Hotel at St George's Park in Burton on Trent, here in the UK. And at the moment we're just sitting around waiting for access to the room that we're going to be playing in so we can go and start setting our show up. But because we don't have our rooms, because we had to leave at midday obviously, we're sort of frequenting the Starbucks above reception. I can think of worse places to be. It's all good. It's all good. I'm on a very nice, comfy seat and talking to you fabulous people in YouTube land, so it's all good. And yeah, so I'm hoping you're still out there. I can see people watching in. Stacey, are you still there? You might be. Stacey from North Carolina in the US. There's been no updates to messages. Let's have a look. Richard Evans, how are you? Oh, hang on, there's a load of messages here. I didn't see any of that. I can't believe it. It wasn't updating. I'm so sorry. My plectrum of choice, Stacey. Right. I've actually got a whole load that I carry because different plectrums get different sounds. But when I do the Queen thing, I wish I had. Stay there. My bag is here. I've got a thing of plectrum. We can have a live chat about plectrums. How riveting. Right, hold on. Just bear with me, gang. Back in 10 seconds. I'm sorry, I did not see updated messages there. I'm so sorry. Richard Evans, I see you there. I'll reply to your thing in a minute. Right, plectrum of choice. And also, Stacey, what's the furthest distance you've driven between gigs like this one where you've had several on the bounce? Couldn't tell you. I'd have to go back through the diaries. I mean, when we used to do Cover Story, we'd be all over the country and do 3 at completely opposite ends of the country. But I think one we did was up near Northumberland, and then we had to drive to Folkestone the following day. That was a good one. That was cracking. Right, so people always see me carry this, a multivitamin tub, and they go, well, why have you bought your tablets? It's not, it's got all my plectrums in. So I have a whole load of plectrums here. So my preference, I know some people are switching off now, going, this is going to be dull. It's not, you might learn something. So I love these are Ernie Ball yellows, right? Try and see if I can, the old eyes aren't what they used to be, so bear with me. I think I've worn it off. It said what the thickness was. Anyway, they're quite rigid. They're probably about like 1.13 maybe. There's not a lot of flex, but I really like them. They feel great and they're solid. For years, I used these, which are called the Big Stubbies. These are, I think they're Dunlops, aren't they? Yeah. So I used to use these for when I did a Green Day tribute. So they're really thick. I think these are like 3mm. So there's not a lot of give in them. But it's a different kind of thing. So if you're doing a very rock, hard, aggressive thing, they're great. There's no suppleness in that pick. But before I did my first Queen tribute a couple of years ago, John Deacon used blue picks, which I thought were Dunlop. Those, they're not. He uses a different make. But anyway, these are quite good. They're quite flexible, and these are, if I can see in the light. Oh God, the eyes are going. It's so dark here. I can't see. No, I can't see it. Anyway, if you go on the Jim Dunlop, you can probably read that better than I can. Just basically, I'm in darkness here. If you go on the Jim Dunlop picks or go on any music store that sells picks, you'll see the range of them, and they go in different thicknesses. So there's a bit of give in that, as you'll see. There's a bit of give. However, predating all of that, so we're going back into like, whoa, now, it'll be 88, maybe, 89, years and years ago, not long after I just started playing bass. I got onto these, which are the purple versions of those. These are thicker. I think these are like 1 millimeter, maybe. So there's some give, but not a lot. But there's more give in that, and it's thinner than that. So again, what changes is how you attack the string, and also the fact that the stiffer the pick is, all the adjustments coming from your wrist. There's no give in the pick. So if I go for like that, or that, you might as well be playing with a stone, because that's not going to flex at all. So I had loads of these. And then, you can't see the table, I can show you. So I have loads and loads of different picks. Some I've just discovered at gigs on the floor. So if it's a venue that has loads of bands all the time, people drop picks. So along the way, I've found a Tortex 1.35. Dunlop Tortex. That's got very little bend. Then we have the thicker purple version of the purple one I showed you before. That's a 2 mil. So this is probably 1. That's 1 mil. That's 2 mil. And these are 3. But you can't really see the thickness. Probably 'cause it's quite worn down. Then, it's great, isn't it, picks? Then there's that, which is a bigger version of the regular Tortex. But these are 0.7, is that 7.9? 7.3. Those, the Tortex yellows, sorry. So that's the regular Tortex, and that's the bigger one. 0.73 is the ones that Bobby Vega uses. So anyone that follows Bobby Vega, seriously funky pick player, played with everything, plays fingers and slap, but his pick playing is quite notorious, shall we say. He uses 73s, and that's how he gets a lot of that sort of flexibility, and because his playing is quite, I don't want to say chuggy and it sound condescending, it's not. But it's like a funk guitarist. So there's a lot of movement going on in his wrist. It's double the movement because you're getting the flexing in the pick. But those are what he uses. And then there's all sorts. There's like little guitar-y picks, little ones, GHS. What we got here? Oh, some of those. Seen these before. There's a 73. What's the brand? Dunlops. Look, that's that all. So we got loads of all sorts really. But yeah, so I just carry these all the time, and if I lose a load, then I'll just replace them. They're not particularly expensive. So yes, that's the pick question answered. Let me see what else we got in here. Here's one. We did the furthest distance. Yeah, I need to go into the diaries. Remind me of that question another time, Stace, and I'll do some research beforehand. Would love you to interview Mark Mendoza from Twisted Sister. Is that Marco Mendoza you mean? Marco Mendoza used to do loads of interviews for Bass Guitar magazine because the previous publishers, Oyster House, I think were promoting him, and he became part of the Swans in Flight project that was the love child of the publisher. So yeah, I've never interviewed him, never met him, never crossed paths or anything. Stacey, you're still here. Cool. Richard Evans, good. Answered that one. I'm sorry guys, I didn't see, none of those messages flashed up, and I've got all the messages. It's clicked on, show all messages, and yet nothing came up there. Sorry, I had to go hunting for that. I thought I was talking to myself. There we are. So no news from the band, so it doesn't look like anything's happening there. I can't do anything anyway because my gear is in a room and the rest of the band's gear is in front of it. So we'll let them crack on, shall we? Yeah. So there we go. So this is Brooks's Bass Corner, impromptu live chat number 2 in 2 days. Incredible. So we do regular live chats every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on a Tuesday evening here in the UK. So no matter where you are in the world, you are more than welcome to join in. If you missed the live chat, you can always catch up afterwards. All the videos get uploaded. And in fact, well, they're streamed straight. I have no control to that. And you can catch up on any of them if you wish. If you want to track down yesterday's live chat, which was quite immense, I have to say. It started slowly and it built to a crescendo, and then we had to stop because it was sound check. Load of questions. Lots of you were getting involved, which was great to see. Thank you very much. We had loads of Super Chat donations yesterday. So for anyone that doesn't know what Super Chat is, it's your ability to contribute to the channel. So the running of the channel, the products that you see on the channel that are reviewed and demoed, keeping the channels running, buying the equipment that allows us to do these videos and the editing, studio hire for filming. That's how we keep this going. So if you've not aware of Super Chat or you've never made a donation, that's fine, it's no problem. If you'd like to contribute because you're enjoying this video or any other videos on the channel, or you enjoy what my channel does, feel free to hit the Super Chat button. So now you're asking, where's the Super Chat button? Okay, on the live chat window, which on the mobile app is below this video, and on the desktop version is that link. Big long live chat window pane. At the bottom, you'll see there's an emoji icon, which allows you to put emojis into the group chat. It's cool. Next to it is a dollar symbol. That's the Super Chat button. So if you click on that, you can make a financial donation to the channel. Everything is welcome. Everything's very much appreciated. I don't take any of that for granted. So if you help donate to the channel or you get involved in the live chats and the questions and the comments and the likes, I appreciate it all. Because without you as an audience, this doesn't happen. Basically, I'd be producing videos for no reason. And what's the point? So I do it. I take on board everything you guys say and the recommendations and things you'd like to see. And it all goes into my notebook and I work through it as we go through. So it's all good. So yeah, so this is live. Well, it's not even a number, is it? It's a pre-show, pre-sound check, impromptu live chat here at the Hilton Hotel in St George's Park in Burton, in the UK. This is the home of the England football team, no less. Let's see if there's any. Hold on. I can see you there, Richard Evans. No, different guy. He also played in the Dictators and played with Leslie West too. Okay, I'll have a look. I'll do a bit of research on the guy. I have no ins with Twisted Sister, so we'll have to see if I can find him on social media and see what would happen. The other thing with doing interviews is I have to quite stringently look at what is going to prove popular. I can't just, same goes with reviews and essential bass albums and what have you. I have to look at what's going to perform well, rather than just doing stuff for the sake of it, because at the moment, the way the channel is, and thankfully it's all improving, it's green arrows all the way in the analytics, and I've got to keep that going. I can't afford to do videos that might, what I call being shot out the cannon and dying instantly. So like you upload a video and it does nothing. I can't do those sort of videos at the moment because the algorithm wants everything to be good and perform well. Once I get to the point that those cogs within the YouTube algorithm tick over into my favor, then I kind of have a bit more artistic freedom, if you like, to do other things. I've actually got a list of stuff I'd like to do, but at the moment I can't do it because I've got to make sure every video is blazing a trail, so to speak. But there are some things I think would be really good, and I think a lot of you would like it, or like them, but we just have to play safe for the moment. So at the moment, pretty much all the content I've kind of got to go with the like the keyword research and the tags and just seeing what is going to be popular before I put it up there. So I will bear it in mind, sir. Just bear with me on that. There's no rush. We could be doing this for 25 years, so don't worry. So yeah, so let's see if I'm missing any messages here. I have to keep putting my fingers on the tripod so the phone doesn't fall over. Just bear with me, guys. Yeah, Stacey, thank you for the plectrum breakdown. I've misread that. I thought that said thank you for the plectrum boredom. I was like, yeah, I understand where you're coming from. Talking about plectrums isn't the most riveting of subjects, but if it helps you, that's what I'm here for. Glad it helped. Yeah, done that. That's all good. Let's see, I heard the phone vibrate. Nothing cropped up. There we go. I think I'm at the end of the messages at the moment. So yeah, this is Brooks's Bass Corner on an impromptu live chat on a Saturday afternoon. We're talking bass when I see the messages. Yeah, so if you've got any questions about basses, bass gear, bass amps, bass speakers, bass effects, pedal boards, effects chains, bass accessories, you want to talk about bass players, any famous bass players, any bass albums, great bands with great bass players, put all of that in the live chat window and I will respond to it as quick as I can. And yeah, so I'm hoping some of you out there playing, it's based on the people tuning in, no one's gigging today, apparently. It's a gig-free day. I don't believe that for a second. I'm sure a lot of you are gigging and probably very close to here as well. I'm sure there's going to be some Birmingham bass players who are gigging tonight. So if you're out there, give us a heads up. And let us know where you're playing, who you're playing with, what songs are you doing, what bands are you playing with, what have you got coming up. I mean, I know loads of players here in the UK got very busy Novembers and Decembers coming their way, so if you're watching and tuning in, let us know. Or even if you're not watching live and you're watching this at a later date, feel free to put it in the comments section and I'll respond to it after the event. It's all good. It's all good. Let's just check the messages. I don't want to miss any now. No, I think we're up to date. I don't think I've missed anything. Yeah, I could go back to the furthest distance driven between gigs, goodness. I mean, the longest gig I had to drive to was the first Queen tribute I did, which was back in March 2019. Literally drove to the north of the Scottish Highlands from London, all in one day. Left at 6:30 in the morning, got back, got there around about 5 o'clock. Left the next morning at about 10 and got back at 6 p.m. It's a lot of driving. That was just under 1,000 miles in about 18 hours. It was a little full on. Wouldn't be doing that every week, I can assure you. But otherwise, just think Cumbria, it's fairly long. Did Green Day once. We went up to Glasgow from London. We were up there for a couple of days, did a Green Day tribute. And we played, I think it's still there, it's a venue in Glasgow on Sauchiehall Street called Campus. And we did a couple of gigs there. And yeah, they were wild days. They were crazy days. We used to have a good time in that band. Did very well. Very busy. Some of those plectrums in here date back to those times. So they've done the miles. Yeah. But then you go like West Country, you look on the map and you think, oh, it's not that far to Cornwall. And it's like, yeah, but the mileage might not be high, but the roads getting down there once you come off the M5, that's what takes the time. Actually getting from Cornwall back to the motorway is the longest part of the journey, yet it's only probably 50, 60 miles. So that's those are always delightful when you see them pop up in the gig diary. Plymouth, that's about it. And then if you're going even further into deeper, darker Cornwall, that's time to decide if you want to do that or not. So look, I think it's saying there's messages. Is there messages? No, there's not. So yeah, so there we go. So it's Saturday, impromptu live chat here on Brooks's Bass Corner. We are at the Hilton Hotel in St George's Park in Burton on Trent, which is the spiritual home now of the England football team. And I'm playing with This Is Queen, a Queen tribute tonight. We've done two shows. Tonight's the third. We were in Lincoln the past two nights. We're now here. We're doing an event tonight for McLaren Owners Club, the racing car people. So we'll see what happens. And at the moment, as far as I'm aware, we don't have proper access to our room that we're playing in. And all our gear is held in a storage room. But three members of the band have gone to try and force the issue, I think. So we'll keep doing this live chat until someone says to me, we can get in and we can start setting up. So I'll keep an eye on the time though. But I'm the bass player. I've got probably the least amount of gear to set up anyway, so all good. So tonight will be potentially a slightly reduced amplification setup. We will have to see once I get in there and see the size of the room, size of the stage. I've heard rumours we've got a slightly small stage, in which case we won't be using the full Aguilar DB751 and a 2 SL212 setup. We might just go with one cabinet and an AG700 tonight, which will mean the breakdown will be significantly shorter and easier for me, which is no bad thing. The joys of driving 120 odd mile without a driver's side wing mirror could be entertaining, so I'll update you on that on Tuesday. Tuesday evening's live chat, and we shall see. Even after that wing mirror got destroyed last night, I kept looking out my driver's side window looking for the mirror to see as I was joining motorways. I couldn't see the cars. I couldn't turn over my shoulder because I had bass cabinets behind me and they kind of blotted out the window, so it was all on the internal mirror and the passenger side mirror. But as far as I'm aware, highway code says as long as you've got 2 mirrors, you're legal. So I'll be heading towards my favourite mechanic on Monday to say, I need a new wing mirror and I need you to fit it. And I don't know what state the electrics are in, so good luck. But it's got to be done. So for those of you who are wondering what the hell I'm talking about, on my way from last night's gig to this gig, we drove after last night's gig finished to get here. We slept here at this hotel. On my way here, a complete idiot. I'm guessing he was drunk, might have been on drugs, looking at his phone, generally being a bit of a dick. Ploughed his car into mine and took my driver's side wing mirror out. How he didn't damage any other part of my car, I don't know. There's no dents, there's no scratches or anything. So either he wasn't concentrating and he hit my wing mirror with his, and that's what broke mine off, so it might have written his off, hopefully. Or, and I don't know if this happened because I wasn't looking directly at his passenger window, I was focusing on what was straight ahead of me. As he came in towards me, who's to say they didn't wind their window down and maybe hit my mirror intentionally? I don't know. All I know was there was a hell of a bang and something flew off my car. And when I pulled up to see what had happened, they'd driven off. And the remnants of my wing mirror were about 100 metres behind, and my driver's side wing mirror had bitten the dust, but there we go. But as I said earlier, over 31 years of driving, 24, nearly 25, owning my own car, and having done thousands of gigs and remembering places I've driven to and parked and pubs I've parked at, to only have had 2 wing mirrors going all that time, I feel like I got away with one over the years, so it was time. Doesn't help when I've got to pay the bill though. I saw messages there. Holy crap, from London to the Highlands, imagine with today's fuel prices, I wouldn't take the gig. I wouldn't do it unless all the fuel was being covered. I wouldn't do it. And actually, having done that, I'm never going to drive to the Highlands from London again. I'll fly up and someone come pick me up. It absolutely wiped me out for a couple of days doing that drive. I hate driving. I like playing. I don't enjoy driving. I don't enjoy the travel bit of it. I love traveling. I love going places, but I don't want to be doing it myself. And I just hate driving. I have no interest in cars or engines or any of that nonsense. I'd rather talk about basses and guitars. So yeah, so there we go. Let me just see what that does there. Say highlight. Okay, just bear with me a moment, guys. I just need to check. I can't do that. Okay, does that take me there? There we are. Sorry about that. Just had to check my messages. So I am going to close this live chat and go and start setting up, and potentially might come back. We'll see how quickly I get set up and if the environment and situation will allow a live chat. We'll see. So I'll bid you good afternoon. Hopefully we'll come back. If I don't worry about it. And I'll see you on Tuesday at 7 p.m. But hopefully we will get to do another one. I will catch you later. Take it easy. Thank you everyone tuning in. Thank you for everyone who's contributed. Very much appreciated. And I'm going off to do a sound check. I will catch you shortly. Take it easy.